Professor. Continuing with my next topic on my democracy vlog assignment, I'm going to speak about how to measure democracy. I'll start by explaining what is democracy. According to Abraham Lincoln, democracy is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. So I'll continue by explaining to why we should measure democracy. We should measure democracy so as to understand to what extent the people in the international system or international societies have political rights and freedoms. According to various researchers, measuring of democracy is not easy, and it's something that people do not agree upon because people disagree, or people come into arguments on the characteristics of democracy, saying that example, one of the characteristics of democracy, which is free and fair election, they say that it's not easy to measure simply because you might say that this is free and fair election, while underneath it's still there wasn't no free and fair election. Okay, going to my point, we'll use few of the principles of democracy to answer these questions on how to measure democracy, and those principles are going as I said, we're measuring by using various characteristics of democracy, which are equality, accountability, transparency, and political participation. Starting with the first characteristic, which is equality. This is the concept of justice and fairness between individuals in society, which includes equal share or distribution of government or available privileges, opportunities, but also wealth. Therefore, we can measure democracy by evaluating or considering this characteristic by seeing how the country exercise equality and how the country provides its opportunities with citizens, or how does it provide its privilege to the citizen, which group of people are more privileged, which group of people are more considered, which group of people are considered, and which group of people are not considered or heard in the government system. Okay, another characteristic is accountability, whereby accountability means is the situation whereby citizens of a certain country elect few or a majority number of few people, so as they can present their interests in the government, and whereby those elected officials have a responsibility to its citizens, which is presenting their interest to the highest officials or to the government or to any other highest institution or highest rank that makes them not be able to reach. And therefore, if those chosen group of people do not do as what the citizens sent them, they are likely to be held accountable for. So therefore, in this aspect of accountability, we can say that you can measure democracy by seeing how the government officials, which are the elected members in which the citizens voted for them, so that they can present their interest in the highest ranks or government, on how they are accountable to their citizens. Like you can measure democracy by seeing on how those elected officials do represent their citizens in the government or in the highest rank. Also, political participation means that how the political or how citizens participate in political matters, example voting or to be voted. So you can measure by knowing like or going to analyze on how the citizens are participating in the political affairs. Also, you can use other various tools such as gender participation ladder. You can also measure by using corruption like how is the government corrupted. Like if the government is more corrupted, that means there is no exercise of democracy. But also if the country is or the government or a certain institution is gender biased, it's likely not to be a democratic state or a democratic government. But also lastly, I would say that these tools are used not to paint a bad picture for a certain government or state, but are used to highlight or to show the challenges facing democracy in the world, but also to identify ways that will help in building a better democracy. And using these tools, it can enable to show like the origin or the democracy that is supposed to be. It has to be like this, not like this. So by using these tools, it enables a country or a state or researchers who are measuring democracy to be able to know the challenges facing the democracy today. Thank you.